Hello, welcome. So today we're going to be taking a little dive into r/am I the abort hole. So if you want to judge some big gaping abort holes with me today, then please do stick around and enjoy. And don't forget to like and subscribe, please, thank you. And of course, quick disclaimer, any opinions I give on the posts we read are just opinions, not facts, do not need to be taken as such. If you have a differing opinion, that is perfectly okay. Feel free to leave it in the comments below, just make sure you're keeping it respectful with each other. There is no need to be mean to each other just because you do not agree. With that being said, let's get into it, shall we? And I have some very exciting news. It is raining. Yay! It's raining! Which is crazy to say, I know, but I'm so excited by it. My lawn looks like the desert. Um, we need this rain. Oh my goodness. I really hope it just carries on like all night. That would be so good. Honestly, I was hoping for a thunderstorm, but not that lucky, apparently. Never mind. Anyway, so this first one was posted to the subreddit by AITAH with the title, "Am I the abort hole for telling my 12-year-old daughter she did nothing wrong by inviting another friend when the first friend didn't respond?" Yesterday, I told my 12-year-old daughter I'd be taking her and a friend to a water park today. She had a free bring a friend pass, and she initially invited her friend A around 9 p.m. A told my daughter she couldn't go after all. I told my daughter that if she wanted to invite someone else, that was fine. My daughter had texted friend B to see if she wanted to go. When friend B didn't respond after about 10 minutes, my daughter tried calling her. Still no response. About 20 minutes after the original text, she invited friend C instead. C immediately said yes, so the plans were set. At about 10:30 p.m, B finally responded saying she wanted to go. My daughter told her she was sorry, but someone else had already taken the spot. B replied, "Okay, no problem," and my daughter said that she was sorry and that she hoped they could hang out soon. They also spoke by phone, and my daughter explained that the spot was already taken. This morning, B's mother called asking when she could drop B off for the water park and saying how excited B was. We explained that another friend was now going. B's mother became upset with my daughter and with us. She said that once my daughter invited B, she should have waited for B to respond before inviting anyone else. We explained that this was a last-minute plan for the following morning, and my daughter had tried texting and calling B before moving on to another friend. I also apologised for any miscommunication and said that it was probably partly my fault because I had encouraged my daughter to get her plans settled before going to bed. B's mother still feels that my daughter and my wife and I were rude and thoughtless. I showed her the text from the night before, including B acknowledging the spot had been taken and replying, "Okay, no problem," but she still believes that we should have waited indefinitely for B to respond. I disagree. My view is, with a last-minute invitation like this, you can ask someone, give them a reasonable opportunity to respond, and then move on if you don't hear back. If I had an extra ticket to a baseball game the next morning, for example, I'd do the same thing. For what it's worth, I couldn't simply take both girls. I only had one extra seat in the car because I was also dropping my son and another child off at camp that morning. If I'd had room, I would have happily taken both and paid for the extra ticket. Am I the abort hole for telling my daughter she did nothing wrong by moving on and inviting another friend when she didn't hear back? I would say no at the end of the day. You know, if you've texted, she's not replied, you've tried to call, she's still not replied, it's last minute plans, it's late. You know, they are only 12 as well, don't forget. So it's like a lot of 12-year-olds aren't even allowed their phone after that time. Well, I suppose in this day and age, maybe not so much, but I know for me, it's like, no, you are not having your phone after 9 p.m. Like, you don't need to be having it and messing up your sleep pattern, you know what I mean? So I understand you need to get the plans in place because you go in the next morning. And at the end of the day, if she didn't respond in time, it's just tough shit. Like, that's just the way it is. And especially considering that B had responded And then the daughter had said, oh no, sorry, you know, I didn't hear back off you, so I had to move on to someone else. Then, you know, B said, okay, no problem. And they spoke on the phone. B was pretty well aware that, you know, the time had passed. So it's either option one, B has pretended to their mum that they are going to try and manipulate the parents into letting her go. Or option two, which I also think is the most likely option, by the way, the mum has B's mentioned to the mum, oh yeah, Thingy asked me if I could go to swimming, but then obviously I didn't reply in time, so now I'm not going to go. And then she's kind of gone, I'm not having that. Decided to throw a little tantrum, and I think that's the most likely option, to be quite honest with you, because honestly, when you have kids and you do have to deal with other parents, you learn very quickly how entitled some parents can be. Like, their kids could be so cool and easy with stuff, but their parents are a freaking nightmare. So, down in the comments, P Loud One says, not the hole. What's wrong with all those people? Seriously. What did she expect your daughter to do? Drop everything or go alone just because her daughter didn't text back in time? Needless to say, you were 100% in the right. And then Marketing Aromatic 751 says, I would give it more than 20 minutes. Yeah, I think I'd give it more than 20 minutes, but then I would not be trying to make plans with 12-year-olds at 9 p.m. at night, you know? I feel that that is extremely last minute for that kind of age group, isn't it? Like, at least an hour to get back. This was the night before. At least give the friend a decent chance to respond. 20 minutes is not long. That's like a shower. Also, why didn't OP contact the parents? The kid needs to ask mum or dad beforehand anyways. If she wasn't responding quick enough, call the parents. OP dropped the ball on this. Okay, then next post posted by T Management 9195. Am I the butthole for not getting my daughter-in-law coffee because she hates tea? Okay, so I'm going to skip the first part of this because spoilers all over the place. I hate it when they put the updates at the top, like put the updates at the bottom. I want to read that after I've read the whole thing, you know? So they start off by saying, this feels really stupid and I need to know if I am the problem here or not. My son seems to think I am the problem. My daughter-in-law loves coffee. She is the type of person that will go get coffee every morning. It is not uncommon that if she goes out to get coffee, she will pick up coffee for other people as well. The issue is, she will never get me a tea or any tea lattes. What in the world is a tea latte? That sounds so gross. As someone who really does not like milk, by the way. I'm sure for most people they're like, what are you on about? It's really nice, but like honestly, hate the taste of milk. So yeah, perhaps that's why I think like that. As she puts it, it is leaf water that she doesn't want to waste her money on. I'm asking her to get a $5 thing of tea if she is already picking up everyone $8 of fancy coffees. Yeah, like, I'm not being funny, but even if I thought, ugh, that's gross. Like, okay, so if my friend asked me to get them a tea latte and I was ordering a coffee, I'd be like, ugh, okay, but I'll get you it anyway. But, ugh. I am asking for a tea latte or an iced tea that I literally can't make at the time. That's so mean. Like, am I the only one who thinks that's really mean for it to be like, I'm not getting your drink because I don't like it? Like, what? She comes back with everyone's drink but mine. It's really frustrating on trips because I will be driving most of the time. She takes everyone's order and goes in while I'm either getting gas or snacks for the trip to come back without any caffeine. Then I have to go into the shop to get my drink. Your daughter-in-law sounds like a bit of a bitch, I'm not gonna lie. Singling one person out like that, this doesn't feel like it's about the tea, you know? There have been so many times she's asked in the chat if anyone wants something at Starbucks. I tell her what I want, and then she comes back with everyone's drink but mine. Talking to her doesn't help. She just claims I can make it at home. You can make the coffee at home, love. What are you on about? So, to the issue. I was going over to babysit the grandkids for my son and daughter, so 4 adults. I sent a text saying I was stopping at Starbucks and asked if they wanted anything. This is the exact same thing she does. They gave me their orders, and I decided that I wouldn't get my daughter-in-law her drink just to make a point, basically. Well, can't say I blame you. I got to where everyone was and gave everyone their drink besides daughter-in-law. She was pissed, and I pointed out this is the same thing she does with me all the time. She told me it wasn't the same, and I can make tea at home. I told her to make her coffee at home, and the pot was right there. We got into a fight, and my son told me I need to apologise. Fuck that! No! If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. And get her drink. I told him no, and I'm tired of this. I've spoken to them multiple times, and if she doesn't change what she does, I will never get her a drink when I get drinks for others. They left, but after babysitting, I am still hearing about it. I need your opinion. Well, here's my opinion. She can suck it. Like, if she wants to single you out and be nasty, for what? Like, because she doesn't like tea? I feel like this is more than about just the tea. Why would you just refuse to get one person's drink all of the time? Like, that's hella weird behaviour. That's so strange. And I'd be doing the same. I'd be like, well, I'm not getting one for you anymore. Like, I've done nothing to you. There is no need for you to be acting like this. I'm literally here babysitting your kids, so obviously she's like an active mother-in-law that helps them out. Unless the OP has missed out some vital context of, I don't know, that maybe they treat the daughter-in-law like absolute crap or something, which obviously we have no proof of that, so I am led to believe that no, that is not the case. Then there is really no excuse for the daughter-in-law to be doing that other than just to be mean. So I would say no, I'm not getting you a drink. You can do one. So we'll have a look what the comments say, and then we'll go back to read that update, shall we? So Jersey Girl 2468 says, not the butthole. If she's asking for orders and getting everyone but yours, that's incredibly rude. You simply matched her actions. I'm guessing there's other issues at play too. Exactly. But solely for this, not the butthole. And then Jasper John says, OP, next time order a coffee and see what happens. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? They should have done that before now, actually. But then again, maybe they don't like coffee. So maybe they're like, oh, I didn't really want to have to order a coffee and, like, waste it. So, but that would be interesting now, wouldn't it? So, I'm guessing everyone was pretty much in agreement that the OP was not the butthole and that they needed to start having some little chats. So they say, okay, well, I got my answer. I'm going to send this to my son and tell him that we need to talk ASAP. My son got back to me and told me we will talk in a bit. Well, just got off the phone with my daughter-in-law and son. Yes, they have seen this post. I sent it to them. My daughter-in-law apologised, and this issue has nothing to do with me. I don't believe it at all. I thought she just hated me, but this has to deal with her own mother. What? Right, I feel like this is a cop-out, but okay. They have a bad relationship, and when they married, didn't wish for that type of relationship to happen again with me. It also didn't help that her sister has a horrible mother-in-law, so she thought she needed to be distant and cold off the start. Oh yeah, distant and cold, but happy for you to babysit. I feel like this is rubbish. I am not buying it. I'm sorry, OP. I bless you for wanting to give her the benefit of the doubt, but no. Absolutely not. So yes, she was being rude on purpose. Well, there was no doubt about that. This post kinda opened her eyes that she was acting like her mother acts. My son also apologised and realised he went too far in the direction of support your spouse. He admits he did the easy thing because we don't live together. Honestly, not buying it from the daughter-in-law, to be quite fair. And you know, having been treated like crap by someone else never, ever gives you an excuse to treat other people like shit. You know? It's just, it doesn't. You can say, oh, you know, yeah, well, this happened to me and that's why I'm treating this person like shit. But I'm sorry, that doesn't fly. What? So because you got treated like that and you know how bad it made you feel, you want to make others feel like that? No. Yeah, it can be a reason why people can be distant, but this was more than distant. This was more than distant. This was singling someone out, which is just a horrible feeling. No one wants to feel singled out like that. So no, I'm not buying it. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, I'm not buying it off the daughter-in-law, to be honest. So, next post, Normal Cherry 6538 says, am I the butthole for spending more money on my kids than my stepkids? My husband and I both have kids, teenagers, from prior marriages. We have our own incomes, although mine is significantly higher than his. When we first got together, we merged finances and I treated all the kids the same. I got them into sports, got their clothes, took them on vacations, etc. I genuinely tried to treat them all as my own. As they got older, the blended family parenting dynamic got a lot harder. My husband and I would agree on budgets and financial rules, and then he wouldn't follow them, and/or would tell the kids not to tell me about things. Oh yeah, that's a great thing to do in your relationship. Not a recipe for disaster at all, no. If I got upset after finding out, they'd all focus on my reaction instead of the fact that he'd gone behind my back. The tipping point was when my stepdaughter told me that what her dad spent on her was none of my business and that he should be able to give her money whenever he wanted to. My husband didn't back me up. After that, I suggested we separate finances and financial responsibilities for our kids. He would take the lead on parenting and financial decisions for his kids, and I'd do the same for mine. If he wanted my opinion, I'd gladly give it, but I wasn't going to keep living in a dynamic where I carried the majority of the financial responsibility without any of the control. We figured out a split for shared expenses based on our incomes and agreed to each be responsible for our own kids' expenses. Honestly, is there any bloody point at this point? Like, if you have to, like, literally say, I'll parent my kids, you parent yours, I'll financially do everything for mine and you financially do everything for yours when you're supposed to be a family, what is the point at that point? Like, this family is not working out, clearly. Financially, it's great. We don't fight about money anymore, and it's way less stressful for me. The issue is that I make considerably more money than my husband. He's also more likely to spend his discretionary money on vehicles and stuff for himself, while I tend to spend more on my kids. To be clear, I haven't stopped doing things for his kids. I just don't feel obligated to anymore. His daughter is out of the house and wants nothing to do with me, so I don't do anything for her. For my stepson, I still buy him clothes, helped pay for his computer, take him on vacations, and I match every dollar he puts into savings. If there's something I genuinely want to do for him, I do it happily. The difference is that for day-to-day expenses, spending money, or things he simply wants, he knows to ask his dad. If I contribute, it's because I want to. My stepdaughter has expressed resentment to my husband's family that it's unfair that my kids are spoiled and get things handed to them that she has to pay for herself. Well, I'm not being funny, love. If you are not living at the home anymore and decide you don't want anything to do with the OP, why on earth would you think that they are financially obligated to you in any way? Like, talk about entitled. And I thought it wasn't anyone's business what she spends on her kids. Was that not what you said, stepdaughter? It's created some family issues where they talk about me behind my back and exclude me from family events now because they think I'm unfair. I don't stop my husband from spending more money on her or his son. I don't control his money or even see his bank account or bills. We simply have different priorities with our discretionary income. Am I the butthole for sticking to what we agreed on, even though it means my kids get more? No. Like, what the stepdaughter has done there is just royally shot herself in the foot, honestly. And the husband is the one who's caused a lot of these issues because he was doing things like, oh, don't tell her, to his kids. So obviously, they're then going to treat the OP like she's beneath them because they, we don't have to tell her. Like, it's none of her business. Dad says we don't have to. Dad told us not to, in fact. It's none of her business. That's what happens when you're being dishonest with your partner, and encouraging your kids to lie to your partner. These things happen. Like, the trust gets broken, and then the dynamic shifts, and all of a sudden everyone's unhappy. Wow, tough. So, down in the comments, Scarlet Cello 24 says, not the butthole, but why are you still in this marriage? My thoughts exactly. And then Ice Seeker says, yeah, it's a husband problem. The fact that he didn't back you up or let his daughter disrespect you is how this situation happened. Precisely. If he, from the start, sorry, I'm rubbing moisturizer into my face, by the way. I don't know if it's making me sound weird, but my face feels so dry all of a sudden. If he, didn't do all of that, then I do wonder if half of these issues would even be there. So then the OP replies to this saying, husband has since acknowledged that he was wrong. We've gone through counselling and the issue of hiding things from me seems to be in the past. I love how that is a seems to be. From what I can see anyway. Issue is daughter and family, but he and I are mostly on the same page. Then he needs to tell his family to back off, and he needs to tell his daughter to learn to be respectful and stop talking crap about you because of a situation that she helped to bring into place in the first place. She really did just cut her nose off to spite her face, like literally. So SpiderPlan892 says, does he push back on his family's talk? Has he told them that she's experiencing the consequences of his actions as well as hers? If he hasn't taken accountability for stopping the gossip, then you're not as much on the same page as you think you are. Precisely. So then the OP replies to that and says, yes, when they say things to him, he pushes back. However, most of the talk about me is behind both of our backs, to other family members and friends. He doesn't go to things I'm not invited to. He's always been conflict avoidant and not that social with his family. And at this point, he doesn't interact with them much at all. See, now you're both way more chilled out about this than I would be, because I don't care if they're saying it behind my back. You best believe I'm still going to bring it up. Be like, hey, you've been mouthing off behind my back. Here I am. It's your chance to say it all. And then Mama D1959 says, just a question. If the talk is behind both of your backs, how do you know about it? Well, because people then go and tell them. Obviously, people love a good gossip. It doesn't matter if it's behind their backs. They're gonna find out. And I bet you half the people that are telling them are joining in. So then OP says, comments to stepdaughter that she shared with my husband and to other family members, even to my hairdresser. Wow. Like, honestly, I would seriously sit back and consider how much your husband actually is supporting you and cares. Because it doesn't feel like he is. Honestly, it feels like he knows this is all going on. He should be marching up to his family and being like, right, you all need to either shut your mouths, say your piece, get it out, and then be done with, or shut your mouths and stop talking about everyone behind their backs. You're making the situation 20 times worse. So, next post posted by Logical Book 7089. Am I the butthole for threatening to quit my best friend's bridal party if I'm not made the maid of honour? Okay. That's quite the title, isn't it? My F27 best friend F28 is getting married. Yay! We've been best friends since 7th grade, and she was the maid of honour in my wedding a few years back. When she got engaged, I assumed I was going to be her maid of honour, but she told me that instead she wants her brother, M26, to be man of honour. I was a tiny bit offended, but okay. I figured I'd get to spend less money and effort, no arguments there. Then I find out that she still expects me to do all the maid of honour duties. Absolutely not. If she wants to have the brother to be man of honour, that's like fine, like perfectly fine. You know, you get to choose who does what in your own wedding. You're not obligated to have anyone as anything. And I would totally understand wanting your brother to do it if you have quite a close relationship. But then to expect the OP to be doing all these maid of honour duties is wild. I'm throwing the bachelorette party, I'm helping buy or DIY decor. I'm the point person for questions and problems on the wedding day. Her excuse as to why her brother can't do any of this? He's such a young guy. I can't count on him. Then why make him the man of honour? When I pointed out that he's older than my husband, she just brushed me off. I got mad. I told her that if I'm doing all the maid of honour work, I want the maid of honour title, or else I'll walk. Maybe I'm vain for wanting the title, but I do. Am I the butthole? I think at the end of the day, I don't get, personally, as someone who's really not into the whole wedding culture stuff anyway, obviously, never been married, don't really care if I never get married, you know? It's never been something that I've thought about as being something I want. It baffles me how people get very hung up on their position within a wedding. Obviously, I can get why family do, because it's a bit different, because it's almost like a show of who's more important to you in your family, I guess. But like, yeah, like I've never really understood the battling out between friends over who gets to be this maid of whatever and that thingy of whatever. Like, I don't understand it personally. But, you know, if it's important to the OP, it's important to the OP if they're having to do all the duties. And I must say, if I was being asked to do maid of honour duties, but then I'm also at the same breath being told I'm not good enough to be your maid of honour, I'd be like, you can get fucked, mate. I ain't doing it. No way. So I do understand that, and I don't think the OP is the butthole for saying, I'm not doing all this when you're telling me I can't be your maid of honour. Like, you don't want me to be your maid of honour, but you want me to do all that stuff. Get your brother to do it. I think that's so bloody cheeky. Anyway, let's have a read of the comments. Maybe someone with a bit more insight and who actually cares about weddings will have something a bit more insightful to say. So down in the comments, available whereas 8832 says, not the butthole, just quit the bridal party. I was on your friend's side until you got the responsibility and not the title. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, I don't think it's bad to have her brother as the man of honor. Like, I get it, that's her brother, maybe they're really super close, but yeah, no. And I mean, to be honest with you, if I was getting married, I would not expect like a maid of honor to be paying for stuff to do with the wedding, like the bachelorette and stuff like that. I've always thought like that would be my responsibility, you know, because it's my fucking wedding. I'm the one who wants to get married, so it should be me who pays for that stuff, not putting it on someone else. Do you know what I mean? But that's just the way I see it anyway. Wedding culture baffles me, it really does. It's a whole lot of stress for one bloody day. So then Fit Exercise 7881 says, ditto, you can't be expected to do all the maid of honour duties without the title. The little brother is lame. He totally could step up, I'm sure, yeah. And then Ice Seeker, oh, we saw you in the one before, says OP doing all the maid of honour's work while the brother's just chilling is unacceptable. He will probably get the credit too. How is that any fair? Best friend is out of her mind for this. Okay then, so I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. If you made it all the way to the end with me, then I appreciate you very, very much. If you give a little like, subscribe, notifications on, hit the hype button, hit big gal, it's your initiation into Common Avoid. Welcome! Whatever it is you're doing for the day, I hope you have a really good rest of the day. Goodbye!